Hey everyone, Pastor Nat here with your 5-minute Bible teaching from Back to the Bible. One of my passions is to help you stand firm, stand faithful, and stand on God's Word. That's why today we're going to talk about overcoming your anger. What things in life make you angry? What are those things that are hot-button issues for you? What are the things that trip your trigger that make you go from 1 to 10 in under 5 seconds flat? One of those areas for me is actually communication. My wife's a fitness instructor, and so recently she went to one of her classes, but she did not come home at her usual time. I texted her, no response. I called her, no response. 20-minute turned into 40 minutes, which turned into an hour, which turned into 2 hours, where finally she messages me back, and what does she say? Sorry, I can't talk right now. I will tell you that incrementally over those 2 hours, I went from concerned to frustrated to angry. But then when I got that text, I'm sorry, I can't talk right now, I flipped my lid and I went screaming out the door, and that is not a joke. Well, after a little while, she called me. It was about 10 o'clock, and I just let her have it. And what's amazing is, she took it like a champ. She listened to me, she took everything that I said, and all she could say was, I know, I'm sorry, I should have called. But my friend needed to talk. And then she began to share with me about the seriousness of the discussion she had with her friend. I wish I would have remembered what Proverbs 14 said about anger. It says, "Whoever is slow to anger has great understanding, but he who has a hasty temper exalts folly." You see, my wife didn't mean anything malicious by not communicating with me. You know, we have this expectation that if we're going to run late, we will text each other and let the other person know. Hey, this is what's happening. I can't be home right now. I just want to let you know I love you and I'll be home in a little bit. But you see, when my wife called me, I was prepared to let her have it. In fact, I'd been rehearsing and thinking about the lecture I was going to give her instead of doing what Proverbs actually says. That's to gain understanding. This was 1,000 years before James would ever write, "Be slow to speak, slow to become angry, and quick to listen." If you are struggling today with anger, the question you need to ask yourself is why? Why are you so angry? Now, I don't know what your answer is, but I can guarantee that a piece of the problem is in the area of understanding. We just came out of a very tense election cycle. No one on either side of the aisle, or very few people on either side of the aisle, cared to gain understanding of the other person's position. Instead, there was just a lot of anger, frustration, attacking. This posture to become quick to anger isn't just in politics. It's not just in marriage. It happens in the workplace. It happens with kids and parents, with friends, with neighbors. Virtually every area of life can lend itself to anger when understanding is not pursued. My challenge for you today is the next time you begin to feel angry, ask yourself why. Ask yourself, why is it that you are not reacting the way that you should be? But then don't rehearse the lecture or get the insult lined up. Instead, seek to gain understanding. Gain understanding before you respond out of anger, and then ask God for the strength to seek that understanding. Ask God to guide your emotions and your actions. Today, pursue understanding and leave behind your anger. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you are encouraged. If you did find today's message helpful, please leave a review and share this podcast with your friends on social media. And by the way, this ministry is only made possible by kingdom investors like you. So if you would like to participate and join us in the journey, consider donating at backtothebible.org. That's backtothebible.org. Until next time, stand firm, stand faithful, and stand on God's Word.